And once again, a very good evening to everyone, and welcome back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here at Collinsville High School. We are down to the final two games here of this 38th annual Prairie Farms Holiday Classic Basketball Tournament, and we feature the third place game next as the Belleville East Lancers get ready to take on the Rockford East E-Rabs. My name is Todd Duke alongside Zach Roseman, who just did a bang-up job there with that game of the McClure North Stars versus the Triad Knights. And Zach, that was a whale of a game. That's probably one of the better games we've seen on the main floor all week, all 3 days.
Yeah, Triad just came out and shot ice cold in the first half and just needled away there in the second half. Finally were able to get it down and, had a bit of late game drama, and they had a pretty good look at the end to win it, but just fell a little bit short. And congratulations to the Stars, their first year back. And we'll see if they choose to stick around. It seems like I haven't had it. It seems like they've been pretty good to have.
Yeah, that was I was watching from various parts, man. I was down there talking to a couple of the ex-K Hawks when they made that, when the Stars made that emphatic dunk to end the first half. And then I came back up here and watched most of the second half, and there was just three-point shots raining everywhere in that game.
Yeah, especially there in the second half. It seemed like, both teams were running quite a bit of zone, and that's one of the weaknesses is if you can hit them pretty consistently, three-point shooting. And, Rashad Burns hit 2 or 3 of them from the corner. Mills hit a couple, and Thompson hit a couple for Triad. And, it wound up being a really, really good game, and we'll see what we have. Hopefully we have a pretty good one there. And I don't know if we'll be able to match it, but we'll see as the Lancers take on the E-Rabs, which, for those of you who don't know, back in the day, Rockford High School were the Rabs, meaning red and black. They opened Rockford East when Rockford got too big to have just one high school, and so they stuck an E on the front of it to become the East High Red and Black, or E-Rabs. And they've kept the name since the school opened back in the 1930s.
Well, we got a battle of the Easts here in this one. Belleville East versus Rockford East. We're still waiting for the starter. Oh, well, there's one of them right there, so we'll go along here, and I believe that is Rockford East. 1, 2, 4, 33, and 40. And here comes the Belleville East starters. Sorry, folks, this is scintillating television, I know, but they're just now putting the starters up on the board, and that's what we were waiting on, and they'll happen to do that right when we are getting on the air. So here are your starters for this game. We'll begin with Rockford East. Antonio Lewis will be on the floor. He is a 6'3" senior. J.T. Samuels, a 6'1" junior. Almanjon Curtis Morris, a 5'6" senior. Matthew Horde, the 6'6" senior, and Carl Harris, the 6'7" senior. For Belleville East, they'll put on the floor Jordan Pickett, a 6'4" senior. Antwine Wilson, same stats, 6'4", and he's a senior. Darian Singleton, a 6'1" senior. Mason Mosley, a 5'10" senior. And Alex Jackson, a 6'5" senior. It is an all-senior lineup here for the Belleville East Lancers as they look to capture third place after they had to settle for a consolation championship last year. They're looking for loftier goals this year. Let's take a look at some of the numbers that we have for you as we get ready for this game. Jordan Pickett right now 20 for 20 from the free throw line. He has 57 points overall in this tournament. 19 is his average in the first 3 games that he's played in. Antwine Wilson, the other Lancer, into double digits as far as average is concerned with 15.7. Matthew Horde, he has scored 49 points. He's averaging 16.3 per game, and he is the only E-Rab that is in double digits as far as average is concerned. That 20 for 20 for Jordan Pickett at the free throw line has helped his team shoot 69% from the free throw line. Everybody else in this tournament is at 40% or lower, except for, I think, Collinsville.
Yeah, Pickett up there, 20 for 20. I believe there have been a couple of guys that have been able to shoot 100% from the free throw line, but I think the most made by someone who did was, I don't have the record in front of me, but it's 29 for 29 for
Rayshawn Taylor did that.
Well, he did that in one game. He didn't shoot 100%. He didn't shoot 100% for the tournament that year. I think it was it was somebody from Collinsville. Might have been Richard Keene.
Free throws for Rockford East. They are hitting 49%, 27 of 55, and that's helped out by the 12 for 20 at the line by Matthew Horde. And pay attention to the three-point shooting, 25% for Rockford East, 21% for Belleville East, and that really caused them to lose that game the other night. They just couldn't hit anything from three-point land.
Yeah, they were able to get their shots kind of more in the perimeter, but just really haven't been able to shoot the ball. And there have been a decent number of teams that haven't really shot the ball well from the outside. Rockford East in some rather snazzy-looking red uniforms, which I haven't seen them wear them in the tournament so far.
Alex Jackson in the center court circle along with Mr. Horde, and it's won by Belleville East. They'll bring it up in the white uniforms, trimmed in blue. Numbers are in blue on the fronts and the backs, and they have the word East written across the front of their jerseys. As Zach mentioned, the E-Rabs also have the word East written across the fronts of their jerseys. They're in cursive white. Their uniforms are red. They got a little black and white alternating stripes down the sides of their jerseys and their shorts, and their numbers on the fronts and the backs are in black, trimmed in a little bit of white. Nothing doing there on the first possession. E-Rabs, they'll bring it down for their first possession. Here is Horde. Horde at the top of the key, gives it up in a dribble drive. Nope, back out front, and Horde has it all over again. Horde, the senior, he has a younger brother here. Sterling Horde, a sophomore. We'll see him in this game as Antonio Lewis gets the scoring started, and the E-Rabs are out to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, just simple there. Nice pass there by Horde to get it to Lewis, and pretty easy layup for him.
Lancers looking to answer now underneath the basket. That's knocked out of the hands of Belleville East Antwine Wilson by Curtis Morris, but when he went to collect it, he had a foot out of bounds, and that will stay with Belleville East. Inbound pass being triggered by Mason Mosley to Pickett. Puts a shot up while he was going through the lane. Wouldn't fall, but Alex Jackson gets the rebound, and he puts it back in, and we are tied at 2, 1 minute in to this first quarter.
Yeah, I think I remember talking about this for the Rockford East, some of their last games, that Alex Jackson is a big guy.
He is
6'5", probably 250 pounds. He's got all four for the Lancers, and Rockford East have the vertical size to match him, but I don't know that those guys that are vertically big have the horizontal mass to match up with him.
Oh, no, all the guys for Rockford East, they might have some height, but they're all bean poles. Not a bean pole is Jackson. He looks like the Michelin man out there. He's got some girth to him, and he uses it well, let me tell you what.
Yeah, he definitely a fair bit of muscle on him, I can tell you that.
That is for sure. Here is Samuels. Samuels will kick it into the corner, and Antonio Lewis puts on a little deke at the shot clock. He hits the rim as the ball was in midair when the horn went off, so no shot clock violation, but the rebound belongs to Belleville East. Pickett for three, and it's good, and Jordan Pickett hits the first three-pointer of this contest. Here come the E-Rabs trying to answer. That's J.T. Samuels on the left wing in front of the Belleville East bench. He takes it all the way out to the top of the key, gives it up to Horde. Horde with the left-hand dribble, enters the paint, takes an off-balance shot just outside the lane, and that one will roll out of bounds, and it'll belong to Belleville East.
Yeah, all in all, pretty solid half-court defense from the Lancers so far, kind of giving the E-Rabs some trouble. Still early, though.
You can't just say East in this game either.
Yeah. And Pickett there with a pretty deep three-pointer.
Yeah, it was.
I think 29 points in the semifinal against MacArthur, and we've seen him drop 40 in this tournament last year, and he's been my personal tournament MVP so far.
Here come the E-Rabs, and a whistle on the play. SIUE coach Barone is in the building. I saw him talking to Matt Clark a little while ago, so he's here to check out his prize recruit, Jordan Pickett, on the floor, and maybe, I don't know, look at a couple of other maybe recruits.
Yeah, certainly a possibility, the only maybe another guy they may be able to maybe take a look at is Bradley Longcrow. I know only a sophomore, but I know he's gotten some Division I attention as well.
Samuels ditches the ball off to Horde, and he went up for a shot, lost the ball in the process, and Belleville East comes down. Another big three from Pickett, and it's good. And he keeps on getting them a little longer and longer each time. 10-2, 6 of those points belong to Jordan Pickett off of 2 3-point shots. E-Rabs trying to answer. Here is Curtis Morris. He'll hand the ball off to Lewis. Lewis at the top of the key makes his run in the perimeter. Kicks it back out to Curtis Morris. He'll drive baseline, dump it off underneath, and I don't really think that Carl Harris was ready for that pass, and it ends up going out of bounds.
Yeah, deflected there by Pickett. They've got Pickett guarding. They've got Pickett guarding Horde, as we'll have a discussion there. As looks like maybe Horde and is it Singleton down there exchanging some pleasantries, if you will.
Yeah.
And Horde did pick up a technical in the Collinsville game.
Samuels for 3. That one's good, too. We got threes ringing in from all kinds of long distances here in this first quarter, 10-5. E-Rabs have cut the score in half. Here come the Lancers. Mosley dumps it off now for Wilson. Wilson underneath the basket to Jackson. Jackson, strong move, can't get it to go. Goes for another rebound, has it, trying to stay in bounds, and he ends up throwing it away, trying to stay in bounds. Threw it right into the hands of Antonio Lewis, and Lewis will end up traveling. Okay, I was waiting for the call. I thought I saw a travel, and we had to wait for the referees to confer. Sterling comes in. The Horde brothers are out on the floor. Nope, he's going to take his brother's place.
Yeah, they Sterling a little bit shorter, but man, do they look a lot alike.
Yeah, they do.
They even have the kind of the same hairstyle.
Yes, they do. All right, bringing the ball up for Belleville East was Mosley. Dumps it off. Pickett, this time for a 2-pointer. So far, he's 0 for 2 on 2-pointers, but 2 for 2 on 3-pointers. Reverse layup, and Jackson gets it to fall, and a foul right afterwards. So Jackson will head to the free throw line, and he will become our first free throw participant. Alex Jackson on this tournament, 5 of 11 from the charity stripe. No, they're not going to call it, huh?
Yeah, I think I think one of the Rockford.
Was after?
Touched it while it was still on the cylinder. So even though it had basically already gone down, I guess it's technically a goaltend.
All right, 12-5. There is a dipsy doodle shot there, if you will, by Curtis Morris. No good. And the rebound belonged to Belleville East. They tried to throw a football pass down court to Mason Mosley, but it fell short. And Antonio Lewis stepped right in front of Mosley and picked that pass off. He'll take it in, and he'll be fouled as he goes up from the left side trying for a layup.
Yeah, I think they're going to get that on Wilson, and it will be. Second foul for the Lancers, 1 each now on Wilson and Singleton.
TJ Montgomery, he wants to come into the game when he gets an opportunity. Jackson Muse is also down there, as well as Tyshawn Barry Sneed for the E-Rabs, and he's sitting in front of another player that I can't tell who it is.
Matthew Horde.
Matthew Horde will check back in. He never stays out very long.
No, he doesn't. See Curtis Morris and Harris come out for the E-Rabs, and Singleton, and I didn't quite catch the other Lancer who went out.
Not sure myself. At the free throw line, that would be Antonio Lewis, and Lewis misses as he came up to the free throw line, 3 of 6 in this tournament. Rebound belongs to Belleville East. They bring it up 12-6 in favor of the Lancers. Over to the far side sideline, Montgomery. He'll launch one, no good. Rebound belongs to Sterling Horde. He'll get it up into the hands of JT Samuels. Samuels will enter over on the left wing, give it up for Matthew Horde. Horde tries to enter the paint at the free throw line, throws it back in the corner to his younger brother Sterling off the side of the backboard. I've seen a lot of that here in this tournament.
Yeah.
Don't usually see that too much, but it's been happening a lot here at this Prairie Farms tournament. Miss on that opportunity for Belleville East. Matthew Horde with the rebound, picks up the dribble, gives it around, and it ends up with Samuel. Over in the corner, they find Barry Sneed. He launches a 3, no good, falls right down into the hands of Jackson. He throws the ball away. He thought he was going to make a half-court pass, I believe, to
probably
Montgomery, yeah, and he just missed through that one. Here is Horde coming in, and we're going to have a blocking foul, and this one's going to go against Belleville East, and more specifically, Jackson Muse. Nope, they're going to call Mason Mosley.
I guess they're going to say Mosley kind of pushed him into Muse. Muse wound up on the ground, but as a little bit of a wet spot on the floor being mopped up by, I'm not sure who that is down there, but I appreciate the good work they're doing.
Always. All ex-K-Hawks down there doing all this work.
Yeah, a lot of alumni, including a couple of kids that I graduated with, making the trip down.
A little short on that shot by Horde, and the ball on the ground, and it is going to be a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of Rockford East. Yeah, I know that Lydia Fluss has got the mopping duties over there on the other side. She graduated last year.
Let's see, Jackson head to a little bit of a break as Wilson come back in, not really subtracting much in the height-wise, but a little bit skinnier and able to kind of match personnel maybe a little bit more.
There are the Arabs going back to work over to Sterling Horde. Horde over on the left wing, dribbles and drives in the perimeter, kicks it back out. That's Antonio Lewis in the corner. He'll give it up now for Barry Sneed. Barry Sneed dribbles and gives it up to Matthew Horde. Horde across the free throw line and falls a little short on that shot. Rebound belongs to Antwine Wilson, and the Lancers bring it up. Here is Jordan Pickett. Pickett has 2 3-pointers to his name as he comes in for his first 2-point field goal. That's good off the glass, and it extends the Lancers' lead to 14-6. The Arabs bring the ball up. Here is Antonio Lewis. Lewis crosses the timeline on the far side, cuts out through the middle, and then throws it back outside for Matthew Horde. He'll just hand it off to younger brother Sterling. Sterling over on the right wing, now over on the left side for Samuels. No look pass. Lewis, good. And the Arabs are up to 8 in the point department. Here come the Lancers. That is Mason Mosley. Mosley comes over from the middle of the court to the near side sideline. Trying to get around Lewis, does so. Oh, no look pass, bluffed it on the pass. That was almost like a pump fake. And then the rebound belongs to Belleville East. Second rebound, that belongs to the Arabs, and they'll bring it up. Here is Antonio Lewis. Lewis gives it up to Matthew Horde. We're down to the final 45 seconds of a fast-moving first quarter. And Horde trying to enter from the right wing. Still have a shot clock to deal with. 19 seconds on that shot clock before that ball goes out of bounds and the clock resets. 2-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock for the Lancers to deal with, as Lowry checks into the contest for the first time for Belleville East. He'll inbound and do so to Montgomery. Montgomery, he'll bring the ball up. Over onto the wing, Jordan Pickett. Pickett drives, scores, 16-8. The Lancers extend that lead.
And Jordan Pickett up to 10 now, and he's really feeling it tonight.
Sure is.
I think his high, I think he had 41, 42 against Oakville last year, and we'll see. This rate he's going, he might be pushing for the scoring record.
Oh, that's knocked out of Horde's hands, and near the buzzer, it's no good, and a football shot down court is also no good, and that's the end of the first quarter. 16-8 in favor of Belleville East. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the K-Hawk Sports Network. Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the K-Hawk Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com. Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Todd Duke and Zach Roseman with you for this third place game. It's a battle of the Easts, Rockford East and Belleville East. Right now, the Lancers of Belleville East have the upper hand, 16-8 after one quarter of play. We are up and running here in quarter number 2. Lancers with the ball. Here is Montgomery. Or excuse me, that is Mosley. Mosley will hand the ball to Montgomery. Montgomery pulls in, takes the shot, good for 2. Right now, it seems like the Lancers have everything working right for them.
Yeah, I mean, Pickett with 10, and they've been able to get some scoring from some other people, playing pretty solid defense. Pretty much a perfect start for Coach Creek and company.
Curtis Morris couldn't connect, and the loose ball ends up into the hands of Barry Sneed, the 2 hyphenated last name players for Rockford East, and that one's going to go against Antwine Wilson. That'll be his second. Lancers now have 4 fouls on the board. The Rockford East Arabs have not committed a foul yet.
Yeah.
To the free throw line, by the way, it is Barry Sneed. And coming into this contest, he has not thrown a free throw, so that will change here in this contest. Up and good. Jackson checks back in for the Lancers. And one more shot coming up for Tyshawn Barry Sneed. On the way, off to the right, and a whistle on the rebound. Somebody made some contact, and looks like it's going to go against Curtis Morris. That'll be his first and the team's first. I jinxed them. I mentioned that they didn't commit any fouls, and they do right after the free throw.
Yeah, I mean, all things go, kind of 9 minutes a game action without committing one.
Yeah. That's kind of rare in high school basketball. That's not a bad little drive there by Tallis Lowry. He got the fingertip roll, plus he's going to get up to the free throw line for a bonus.
And Harris picks up his second as Lewis come in. Harris will take a rest, and Pickett will come back in after a short rest for the Lancers, replacing Montgomery.
First free throw of this tournament for Tallis Lowry coming up.
They started their first game against McClure North, but been in a bench role these last 3 games.
Free throw good, and 21-9 is the score. And I know that there's still a lot of basketball left to be played, but I didn't see this kind of a wide margin coming when these two teams took the floor. But that could all change here real soon. Curtis Morris over on the far side wing. That is Lewis. Lewis can't find a place to run to, so he'll give it up to Matthew Horde, who cuts through the paint, gets away with another travel. They just don't see his feet moving. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Here's Pickett into the corner. 3-point shot. That rattles in for Darian Singleton. A timeout on the floor. It is a 30-second timeout. We'll be back after about that much time on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Herald Square and Cold Herald, 2 great additions to the Collinsville landscape. Next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, Herald Square is a new outdoor multi-use event space in Collinsville. Concerts, fun and games, farmer markets, and so much more. Herald Square, a great space for Collinsville's future. And, just off the square's turf, Cold Herald, old-fashioned scooped ice cream gelato, house-made recipes, and premium sourced product. If you're over 21, ask about the good stuff at Cold Herald. Watch Collinsville grow. Herald Square and Cold Herald, 2 great new additions, only in Collinsville, Illinois.
Zach Roseman, Todd Duke back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Third place game is into the second quarter, 24-9. It's been all Lancers thus far.
Yeah, it really has. Pickett's been able to score. He's been able to facilitate. Singleton hit maybe his first 3 of the tournament. It's been a bit of tough sledding for him, but he hits that one there and playing pretty solid defense.
Sterling Horde out. Whoa. I don't even think Matthew Horde saw that one come until the last second. A dribble drive there by Barry Sneed. He takes a shot, no good. And there is Jordan Pickett with the rebound. Pickett moves the ball up across the K-Hawk logo here at Virgil Fletcher. Another 3-point big shot. That one falls a little short. That was from NBA range, man. That was out there by the volleyball stripe.
Yeah, he'll make those, though.
There's another 3-point try. That one just goes over the basket from Sterling Horde, right into the hands of Tallis Lowry. Lowry pulls up top of the key, takes a shot, good for 2. Or Singleton, excuse me. 26-9.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the Lancers are shooting from the field. It's got to be up pushing probably 70%.
Yeah, the only 2 that were missed early were the 2 that Pickett missed.
I think Pickett's missed like 2 shots, and that's about it. And maybe Jackson has missed 1 or 2. Pickett will pick up the foul.
Off the rebounds, Jackson's missed a couple, but yeah. From the floor, I think Pickett missed his first 2 2-point shots, but he made his first 2 3-point shots, and Horde almost fell asleep going into the backcourt to get that inbound pass. He shoves it over to Lewis for 3. That one rolls off the fat part of the iron, and they try to get it out to Horde. That was tipped, but it does make it that far. And now Matthew Horde shoves it back over to Lewis, and a whistle will stop the play.
Guess he'd stuck on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. That's what the referee said, and Jeff Creek was standing right there. He pointed it out. After the fact, of course.
Of course.
Here comes Mosley. Mosley gives it up now to Singleton, and he'll ride in and miss that layup. Rebound belongs to Lewis. He'll headman it up to Sterling Horde. Cuts into the paint, takes the shot, can't get that fingertip floater, and then Lewis will put it back up and in. Antonio Lewis now with 7 points in this contest. He's got 7 of the 11 up there for Rockford East.
Yeah, and both of the Horde brothers off to a pretty slow start,
Yeah,
especially Matthew.
And that one ends up getting knocked out of bounds, and it's going to go to Rockford East.
See Curtis Morris come in for the 2 hyphenated names coming in for each other.
There you go.
Curtis Morris comes in for Barry Sneed.
And the funny thing is both of them could be first and last names. Curtis for a first name, Morris for a last, Barry for a first name, Sneed for a last. So when you're not really paying attention and you say Barry Sneed, you think that's his name, Barry Sneed. Here is Horde. And then you got the 2 brothers on the floor. You always have to separate them by first name and last name. So it's kind of a mouthful here when you're dealing with the E-Rabs, that's for sure. Yeah. Here is Lewis. I can just use his last name. Lewis gets mugged, but it goes out to Curtis Morris, and he'll drain one in for 2, and a whistle will follow.
It's a whistle there.
Not sure what the whistle was for.
I don't know. The referee had pointed at somebody. I thought he maybe called a technical or something.
Yeah.
But guess not.
I mean, Lancers were going to have to take the ball out anyway, but he just stopped the clock, and they did it with the clock stopped. Here is Jordan Pickett. He'll launch another 3. That one's off the mark. I think that was partially tipped by Sterling Horde.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a heat check there from Pickett, but after he came out and made those first 2.
There is a 3-point try. That rolls across the bucket from Samuels. Now back to Curtis Morris. He's in the paint, and he kicks it back out for Sterling Horde. Over onto the far side for Lewis. Head fake, drives, baseline, shot, no good. And Sterling Horde had his hands on the ball and ends up hitting Mosley in the face and actually stayed in bounds. And that allowed Belleville East to pick it up. And now, speaking of picking it up, Jordan Pickett is going to go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
Yeah, foul on Curtis Morris. 6'4", driving the lane against 5'6" isn't a great matchup. See Pickett see if he can continue his perfect free throw shooting campaign so far in this tournament. Comes in at 20 of 20.
He eyes things. He gets himself psyched up for this. Missed.
And he airballed.
He airballed. It didn't even touch the rim.
Wow, what
a way to break a 20 for 20 streak.
Yeah, just he knew it right. Look at the hand, maybe the basketball a little bit.
It was my hand's fault. Same way baseball players look at their gloves when they miss a grounder. They're like, there's a hole in my glove. I just know it. And he goes 0 for 2. After going 20 for 20, Pickett goes 0 for 2 at the free throw line, but no worries there. He has already scored a bunch of points, and he's got a bunch of more up his sleeve, I am sure. Here is Lewis into the paint, kicks it out to Samuels, over to Matthew Horde. Matthew Horde, top of the key, gives it up to Curtis Morris, to Sterling Horde in the corner. 3-point shot. That's his second air ball from that exact same spot. Pickett, no-look pass into the corner. Oh, that one swoops all the way out on a 3-point effort. Jackson gets the rebound, couldn't get it back up and in, and then we have a travel that is going to be called against Jackson Muse, and that'll give the ball back to the E-Rabs as they trail by 13.
Muse saying, hey, I got hit on the head, and he probably is right, but the rest in both this game and in the Clore North Triad game, letting a decent amount of contact at the rim go uncalled.
There is Matthew Horde. He drives the lane and takes a shot off of the side of the backboard. Didn't even make it close to the rim.
I think it got blocked.
They're back at it are the E-Rabs. Into the corner for Sterling Horde. Lewis for 3. And, well, I tell you what, the E-Rabs are just launching out air ball after air ball in these 3-point shots.
I don't feel any breeze. There must be a door open somewhere.
Oh, it's been cold in here all day, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true.
My hands have been freezing all day. I had to go out to my car, sitting there for about a half hour with the heater running. Had my hands on the vents just to warm my hands up.
Yeah, just kind of a cold, rainy day.
Yeah. Unlike yesterday, which was about 60-something degrees. A miss on that shot. Rebound belongs to the E-Rabs, and here is Horde into the corner for Lewis. Samuels backs back out, sends it over to Curtis Morris. Into the corner for Lewis for 3. That is how you make a 3-point shot.
Coach Creek will take a 30-second timeout.
We'll take one right along with him. We're back here in just 30 seconds on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Ogle with Ogle Auctions, and we hope you are enjoying tonight's game, and go K-Hawks. Hey, check us out. Every Sunday night, we have an online auction at www.ogleauctions.com. Everything from grandma's china to grandma's motorcycle helmet. It's all here at Ogle Auctions every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Check us out, and we will see you soon.
Welcome back once again to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here at Collinsville High School. Todd Duke is my name. Zach Roseman on the other microphone. Third place game. We are getting down to the last parts of the first half here. 2:25 left in quarter number 2. Lancers with the lead. A 10-point lead, 26-16. And a whistle will stop the action. Lancers will keep the ball, and they'll inbound right here at the end of the scorer's table, right in front of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic billboard.
Yeah, it looks like the Euros maybe coming out in a little bit of like a 1-2-2 zone press and disrupted the Lancers a little bit there.
Jackson Muse gives the ball up, and coming in was Mosley. Looks like he got contact, but no foul was called, and he lost the ball and bit the dust at the same time. Matthew Hort, turnaround fadeaway jumper in the paint, good for 2. I told you, you can't worry about these E-Rabs. They'll figure out a way to stay in this game.
You got a foul there on Sterling Horde. Is Wilson, Lowry, and Wilson, Lowry, and Singleton come in for Jackson, Montgomery, and I must have missed the third one to go out because they got 5 guys out there.
Well, it's not 6, so that's a good thing. Somebody will end up in the penalty box. Too many men on the ice. Here comes the Lancers into the corner. 3-point shot. That skips across the rim from Antwine Wilson. Rebound belongs to the E-Rabs. They get it up quickly to Matthew Horde. Horde will slow down, wait for the rest of his teammates to catch back up. They have, and now the ball over to the sideline. Nice job picking it up before it goes out of bounds by Horde. He gives to Curtis Morris. Curtis Morris dribbles and approaches, gives it up for Matthew Horde. Horde from the left wing. Enters, free throw line, and a little acrobatic shot wouldn't fall. Rebound belongs to Antwine Wilson. Wilson will go all the way himself, and he'll turn that into 2 points.
One quick observation, either Amajan Curtis Morris is taller than 5'6", or Mosley is a bit shorter than 5'10". I don't know, they look like they're just about the same height.
Yeah, they do, don't they? I'm 5'6", and they both look about the same height as me. There's a Antonio Lewis 2-pointer, an 8-point game, down to the final 40 seconds left to play here in this first half. Shot clock down to 30, so there is a difference. Here is Jordan Pickett. Pickett over on the left wing, drives and scores.
And they
looks like Curtis Morris took a body part of Pickett to the mouth.
And they're going to call him for the foul, though.
His mouth got in the way.
Yeah.
He's checking his lip for blood just to make sure he's not bleeding, because if he is, he'll have to go out. He seems to be okay.
Coach Muse, or not Coach Muse, Jackson Muse coming in for, you're going to send Wilson to the bench. Pickett will look to redeem himself a little bit from the free throw line after a pretty rough 0 of 2 trip his last time up.
Went from 20 for 20 to 0 for 2, and one of those 0 for 2s was a complete air ball. Now he's back on track. 31-20, 11-point lead, back intact for the Lancers. And the E-Rabs come up. Shot clock has been turned up. Here's Lewis. Got the ball ripped off. Here comes Mosley. Mosley off the glass. Good for the roll-in. And that extends the Lancers' lead. Down to the final 15 seconds here to play in this first half. Here comes Samuels. Samuels drives it over onto the left wing. Hands it off to Sterling Horde. He'll take it all the way around and give it up for Curtis Morris. Baseline shot. Morris gets the roll in. And the Lancers have one more chance at a long shot here at the buzzer. It's in the air, and it's going to fall a little short. And that is the way that the first quarter comes to a close. 33-22 in favor of the Belleville East Lancers. And we're back with a look at the first half stats after a timeout here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville or Collinsville locations for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121 or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Cahawk alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pit master. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces that support our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on providing aid to the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop by and see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time World Championship Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com. Are you looking to update the appeal of your home's interior? Look no further than Hayden Interiors, LLC. Hayden Interiors, LLC is owned and operated by former Cahawk graduate Nick Hayden. Hayden Interiors, LLC will help you get that new look that you want for your home. Flooring, baseboards, doorways, as well as interior renovations or interior additions, kitchen, living room, bedroom, hallways, basements, stairways. Let Hayden Interior LLC help you find the look that you want. Call Nick Hayden today at Hayden Interiors LLC, 618-772-6790 for your free estimate. Hayden Interiors LLC, on budget, on time, every time. That's Hayden Interiors, LLC. Call Nick at 618-772-6790. We welcome you back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here at Collinsville High School. Halftime 33-22 in favor of the Belleville East Lancers. Here's a look at your first half stats. Leading scorer in this one, not a real big surprise. That would be Jordan Pickett. He has 13 points, and then it's spread out widely for Belleville East after that. 6 points for Alex Jackson, 5 for Darian Singleton, 3 for Tallis Lowry. And then the rest have 2. That would be Antwine Wilson, Mason Mosley, and TJ Montgomery. Leading scorer for Rockford East is Antonio Lewis with 12 points, 4 points for Amajan Curtis Morris. 3 points belongs to JT Samuels, 2 for Matthew Horde, and 1 for Tyshawn Barry Sneed. From the lines, Rockford East 2 for 4 and Belleville East 2 for 4 from the free throw line. 3-point shots, 2 for 10 for Rockford East, 3 of 8 for Belleville East. And right now, Belleville East winning the battle of the boards, out rebounding Rockford East 24-18, and the turnovers are dead even at 6 apiece. Shooting from the floor, we were wondering about that during the game as Belleville East was on fire for a while. They are shooting 43.8 from the floor, while Rockford East is shooting right at 30%, and a couple of other numbers that stand out. Belleville East has 11 points off of those 6 turnovers by Rockford East. They almost have gotten as many as they can, unless you want to shoot a 3-point shot over all those turnovers, but figure 6 turnovers could be 12 points, but it's 11 points instead. And fast break points, Belleville East has 17 fast break points. That's a look at your first half stats. Myself and Zach Roseman will be back to complete the call. Second half action here in this third place game will be coming up next on the K-Hawk Sports Network. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistants Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are K-Hawk Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistants Association. Go K-Hawks! Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Collinsville Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud sponsor of your Collinsville K-Hawks on the K-Hawk Sports Network. For all of your investment needs, see Jason Regg at his Edward Jones office at 1008 Vandalia Street in Collinsville, or call Jason at 618-344-0252 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Calling all sports fans. Looking for a great place to watch the game with your crew? Look no further than the Lucky Fox Sports Bar in Caseyville. The Lucky Fox shows Collinsville K-Hawk sports on the big screen, plus UFC fights, boxing, Cardinals and Blues, and all of the NFL games with the NFL ticket and enough TVs that you'll be sure to find the game you want. And the food? How about Taco Tuesdays, Wing Wednesdays, plus burgers, sandwiches, pizza, steak, and more, including great drink specials and the coldest brew in town. And don't forget to try your luck at the Lucky Fox Gaming Room. Dine in and catch a game, or order carry-out with the Lucky Fox Sports Bar, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from K-Hawk Stadium. Open daily at 11 a.m. Check out the Lucky Fox Facebook page for daily specials. The Lucky Fox, 618-855-9500. Back once again at Collinsville High School, live from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Been here for the last 3 days. Well, 2+ anyway. We're almost finished with day number 3. It's been a lot of fun. We're almost at the end. We have another half here in this third place game, and then the championship game between the MacArthur Generals out of Decatur and the Quincy Blue Devils coming up next. That should be a fun one.
Yeah, it really should be, kind of a contrast of styles. Two of the best programs in, I guess, Quincy more Western Illinois, but the, central part of the state, Quincy with a couple of state titles. MacArthur have had a lot of success in the recent past. Seems like they're winning a regional just about every year. Should be a great matchup. Yeah,
there was a pretty good matchup last year in the one of the semifinal games. Decatur and MacArthur beating Quincy 58-53. That sent MacArthur to the championship game and sent Quincy to the third place game where they ended up losing to Collinsville last year. So a rematch of one of the semifinals from last year. We're underway here in the second half. Count that bucket off of the hand of Lewis for Rockford East, and he'll go to the free throw line. And for the first time in a while, the E-Rabs have gotten the deficit down to single digits.
Yeah, not quite going away. Coach Sackmaster has his guys getting after it. Very clean free throw make there from Lewis, and deficit back down to 8, like you mentioned.
He's now 2 of 3 from the line is Lewis. And the Lancers try to get the ball across. They can't. Picked up by Rockford East, and watch out. We're going to have a tale of 2 different halves here from this E-Rab club. And as I talk about it, Matthew Horde comes in and slices and dices and does everything he can and finishes up with a nice 2 points. And all of a sudden, this is a 6-point contest. Lancers with the ball. Here is a shot from the baseline. That one snakes its way in from Antwine Wilson. And the Lancers are on the board here in the second half. Here come the E-Rabs, and that's Samuels. Samuels gets out of the corner with a pass to Matthew Horde. Horde, free throw line, puts on a spin move, bounces the ball, didn't want to. Oh! Samuels with a big 3-point shot off of a turnover to his own guy by Horde. Lancers trying to answer. Here's a 3-point on the other end, and that one is good as well by Antwine Wilson. Wait, trade back 3-pointers, and it is 38-30. I see
that's Megan Jansen.
Megan Jansen with a trophy in her hand, so I'm guessing the ladies did okay in the third place game. Either that or that's the fourth place trophy. I have no idea. I don't think they have a fourth place trophy, do they?
I don't know. That maybe could be an all-tournament team too.
Could be.
Yeah, we'll have to check and see. I know they played Clayton as they're going to send Matthew Horde out, maybe a little bit of blood, and they'll bring in his brother to replace him.
Matthew's not very happy about coming out, is he?
He don't want to. Like, I'm fine.
I'm fine. Oh, what you doing? Why? Inbound pass already taken care of. Mosley works the ball up for Belleville East. Gets it over to the far side wing for Singleton. Singleton to Jackson. Jackson at the top of the key. Gives it back to Mosley. Mosley, free throw line. Shot. That's short. And a foul is going to be called. And that might be why the shot was short.
You've got Sterling Horde kind of, guess they're going to say, knocked Mosley on the arm. Mosley will shoot some free throws. That's Sterling Horde's second foul. Been a bit of a rough go for him. Definitely been a pretty big bench contributor, but no points combined. Probably like 0 of 6 or something like that now, and 2 fouls.
Mosley's first trip to the free throw line here in this game, and his first one is good.
Free throw is good for Mosley.
Yeah, Mosley up to 3 points now. Kind of had his little bit of struggles in this tournament, but it's all in all been all right for him. And that free throw make, he's up to 4 points now.
Both of them good. And back to action. Here come the Rabs, and another shot by Lewis. That one won't fall in. Rebound. That belongs to Singleton, and he'll bring it up court for Belleville East. And they'll back it out from that right-hand wing, near sideline. 3-point shot, nothing but net again. And Darian Singleton picks up another 3 and gives his team back that 11-point lead.
Yeah, Singleton's had his fair share of struggles, been ice cold, but warming up there now. That's his second of the game, and here comes Pickett.
Well, it says that the Lady Cats lost 66-61.
May have been an all-tournament team.
Could be.
Award.
Could be. 66-61 at MICDS.
To the Clayton Greyhounds.
Jordan Pickett at the line for one shot.
One shot coming up for Jordan Pickett.
Number 3, Tyshawn Berry-Sneed. And number 33, Matthew Ward.
Yeah, pick it up to 15 now, and
No particulars on that game yet. They don't have any of the stats in, and none of the quarters have been filled in as far as points go for that game as well. So we'll have to check that out a little bit later. But the girls go into the MICDS tournament, win the first game, and then come out empty-handed after that. Here comes Lewis.
fall to 11-5, 11-6, and they'll get back into conference play after in the new year.
Yep, they sure will. We'll have some games next week. I believe we have both of the boys and the girls games versus Edwardsville next week, Thursday and Friday. I got a busy week next week. I got hockey on Tuesday, bowling on Wednesday, girls basketball Thursday, boys basketball Friday.
Yeah, and then I know next Saturday is maybe one of the highlight events of the year, the Highland Shootout. I know I'll be there, and I'm sure a lot of other people will be there.
Oh, another
too.
big three-pointer. Belleville East is raining in three-pointers left and right here as we approach the halfway mark of quarter number 3, 49-32. Big three-point answer try there. No good. Rebound. That belongs to Singleton as well. Singleton's been on fire here lately, both rebounding and scoring. Here's Pickett for 3. He drains it as well.
See, this is Belleville East operating at their absolute optimum efficiency, because Pickett's got darn near 20 points already, but he's facilitating. Other people are scoring. This is East at their absolute best.
That was a 6-point game just a little while ago. Now it's a 20-point game. Well, now it's 18 after that make, but man, just a little while ago this was a 6-point contest. That's what three-point shots will do to you, especially when you hit them.
Yep.
Here is Pickett. Pickett back outside the perimeter once again, gives the ball up to Wilson, who throws it over to Singleton. Back out front for Jackson underneath, and a layup wouldn't work. Just didn't get it up high enough, did Antwine Wilson. Here comes Matthew Horde. Horde pulls up in the perimeter, underhands it to Lewis. Lewis's shot is off the mark, and the rebound is pulled down by Singleton again. Singleton's on fire right now. Yeah. Singleton splits the defense into the paint, dumps it off for Jackson, and Jackson had the ball knocked out of his hand by Lewis, and it'll be a Lancers inbound from underneath of their own basket.
Yeah, Pickett got kind of an elbow or something in the back. A little slow getting back down the court, but he'll stay in, at least for the time being.
Inbound pass coming in. No look, and Muse couldn't connect because he was fouled. The referee made a motion like he got hit in the side of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That'll knock you off your game, won't it?
Foul on Curtis Morris, and that's his 4th already. You know, one of the main guards for this ERAB squad. We'll see JT Samuels come in at the next opportunity to replace him.
Muse at the free throw line.
Number 2, JT Samuel.
JT Samuels checks back into the game for the ERABs. Curtis Morris to the bench. And Muse at the free throw line. One more shot coming his way, and that one rattles home. And it's now a 19-point lead for Belleville East. Here comes Matthew Horde. Horde works it up across the timeline. Brings it to the top of the key. Switches direction inside the left wing. Takes the shot. No good. Rebound. That belongs to Belleville East. Here is Mosley. He brings it up court over on the far sideline in front of his coach, Jeff Creek. Into the corner now for Muse. Muse to Jackson. Jackson in the perimeter, but just outside the lane. Into the paint. Takes the shot off the inside of the rim. No good. And the rebound. That time it belongs to the ERABs. They will bring the ball up. And looking for some points, and that's going to be a charging call.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a flop there, but he really synchronized it well, did Muse. You got Barry Sneed with the charge. That's his first. Wilson will come in to replace Jackson, and we'll see Singleton come in and briefly spell Pickett. You'd think he'd be back in before too long.
2:51 left to play here in this third quarter.
Solid, decent crowd on hand. Lower bowl pretty much full, and I think more people would gradually get in as gets there for this championship game between two very good teams.
They are two very good teams, and they are in the third place game for a reason, just because they fell short in their semifinals. And And Carl Harris picks up his 3rd personal foul. That is the 5th for the E-Rabs. At the free throw line, one Mr. Darian Singleton, and Singleton hits the first one. Singleton now up to 9 points.
See Lewis come back in. Lewis has really had a pretty good game. Up to 17 points. I did not have him on my alternative ballot, but I think I'm starting to regret that decision maybe just a hair.
Why was Mosley facing the opposite direction? That was kind of weird. I've never seen anybody do that at the free throw line before.
Maybe a distraction tactic?
I don't know. Could be.
I don't know.
And another foul. This is going to be a reach-in foul, and it'll be a non-shooting foul, and this one's going to go against Mason Mosley. 2:31 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Inbound pass being triggered by Samuels. Samuels gets it into Matthew Horde. And Horde starts working his way over to the wing on the left side. And fires a pass. Nicely done, but unable to finish with Samuels.
Yeah.
Samuels had everything going for him
pass.
there. That's a nice pass there. Right down the seam. And Jackson Muse, he knew what to do with it. Here is Horde. He comes in, a little hop, skip, and a jump, and no good. And a foul coming up against Jackson Muse.
Yeah, I wonder if Lancers baseball coach Ryan Wiggs is here. He might have to get him to come out for baseball this year.
That was a strike right down the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Probably about 30 feet right on a line. He'll take that.
Yeah, basketballs are heavy too, so that was probably about 60 miles an hour. You give him a baseball and it might hit 90.
Yeah.
At the free throw line, it is Matthew Horde. Horde, first shot, good. Matthew Horde, no trips to the free throw line in the first half. And he came into this game hitting 12 of 20.
Yeah, they're 5 points. Been a bit of a quiet game for him, but he's a good enough player that he's been able to make some impact. Just hasn't quite been the night for the E-Rabs so far.
Not yet. They're down by 21 points now, is Rockford East. Here comes Belleville East. Singleton. He brings it up across the midcourt logo, right at the bottom of that logo. Hands the ball off to Montgomery. Montgomery kicks it outside for Muse. Muse in the paint. He's fouled.
Yeah, kind of got caught in an awkward situation there. Bailed out maybe just a little bit by the foul. They're going to get that on
Lewis.
Sixth foul, team foul for the E-Rabs, but Lewis is first. We'll see Harris come into the next opportunity.
I remember Harris last year. I thought he was a little bit more involved last year than he is this year.
I don't know. I don't really remember. It seems like the main two guys that I remember. Remember Matthew Horde. I don't think Matthew Horde played a whole lot in last year's tournament, but I definitely remember him. He was definitely a contributor. Two names that I remember the most were the two Jefferson brothers, Josiah and Jameer. One of them graduated, and the other one, well, I didn't think he graduated. I guess he not on the roster this year for reasons that are unknown to me.
Well, we don't know a lot of those reasons that are unknown to us. Here is Sterling Horde. He throws the ball out front to Lewis. Lewis, he dribbles all the way back near midcourt. And into the paint, Lewis takes a shot. He is fouled. This one looks like it might go against number 2 or number 3. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be number 3, and that is Talis Lowry. 1:39 to go here in quarter number 3. It's been all Belleville East, really. 58-36 right now. Lewis at the free throw line. Can't connect. And one more shot coming from him.
Crowd continuing to file in. Lower bowl pretty much not completely full, but pretty darn close to it.
Lewis made the last one, so it becomes a 21-point game again.
Yeah, Southern upper deck probably little under half full, little less than that in the northern upper deck, and a smattering of fans in the western bleachers.
We're full up here in the balcony, though, that's for sure. We have been all week.
Of course.
We have administrators and media are the only ones allowed up here, and that's a charging foul, and that's going to go against Jackson Muse. Jackson Muse will pick up his team's 5th and his 2nd.
Yeah, you see Pickett come back in now and got him matched up on Barry Sneed. You'll see what happens. I'll see if he's able to keep going. Not quite on pace to up to 19 so far. Not quite on pace for the 41 or so he had against Oakville last time. But
yeah,
scoring has been significantly more balanced than that game against the Tigers last year was.
Sterling Horde banks one off the glass for 2 points. Here is Jordan Pickett. Pickett will back things up from that left wing over in front of his bench and in front of Coach Jeff Creek. Here's a 3-point try, and that one skips off of the rim off the hands of Antwine Wilson. He'll kick it back outside. Singleton, he says, you know what, I'm the one that's on fire. Give me the ball.
Yeah, we'll see Coach Creek take a 30-second timeout.
So we will take a 30-second timeout as well, and we'll be back here in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
In Collinsville, call Scott Allen at 618-346-1500. 44 seconds left to play here in this third quarter, 61-39. Lancers have the lead, and they have that third place trophy in their sights. Here comes Samuels for Rockford East. They have other designs on that third place trophy, but they're going to have a lot of work to do to get there, as right now they trail by a bunch. Here is Sterling Horde. He'll try to make it a little bit closer, and he does. A little pop drop, and that gets that lead back down to 20. Speaking of 20, that's how much time we have left in seconds here in this third quarter. Shot clock has been turned off. Here is Pickett. Pickett comes in from the right wing, reverses direction, comes back outside. Top of the key for Singleton. Singleton's had the hot hand lately. Pickett, he keeps the ball out near that sideline on the near side. Comes over to the far side. 3-point rainbow shot. That one's a little bit too strong. And it comes down just in time for a score from T.J. Montgomery to make it 63-41 after 3 quarters of play. Fourth quarter, that'll be coming your way next here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for K-Hawk fans, before, after, or even during K-Hawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows K-Hawk games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, K-Hawk fans' pub of choice.
LC's Pub, one of our fine sponsors here on the K-Hawk Sports Network, and that is where the after party is going to be at the end of that championship game, and that's where I will be. So come on over and join us if you want to. We'll be having some fun, listening to some good music. All right, fourth quarter is here in the third place game, and it is a 22-point lead for Belleville East. They'll bring the ball up over on that near side sideline in the form of Montgomery over to Pickett. Pickett to Jackson. Jackson in the paint, turns around, takes the shot, good for 2.
Jackson been kind of quiet here in the second half, but gets the bucket there up to...
Well, I don't even have his number up there. 8. Oh, there you go, 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Here comes the E-Rabs, and more specifically, Lewis. Lewis gives the ball up, and gives it to Barry Sneed. A bounce pass out to the top for Harris. Harris gives it back to Lewis. Lewis in front of the scorer's table will skirt that direction. Top of the key, reverses direction, spin move, back into the paint, and a whistle will stop all that. And this one is going to be a foul against Darian Singleton. Singleton will pick up his second, team sixth. Each team now with 6 fouls on the board here in this fourth quarter. 7:16 to play in the fourth. And the E-Rabs with the ball. Here is Lewis. He forces a shot up, no good. Jackson had the rebound in his hand. It was taken out of his hand by Harris, and then Harris had it ripped right out of his hands by Singleton, but Singleton was standing out of bounds when he did it.
Kind of an interesting sequence there. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, Rockford East, you're going to keep playing hard. Not off balance, but not a bad look there from Sterling Horde.
And that ball almost, and then finally does elude Antoine Wilson. He tried to pick it up off of the top of his sneakers, but couldn't find the handle, and he kept on traveling, and finally both him and the ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, Singleton, you know, I made the discussion about that Lancer baseball program earlier. Singleton transfer from Mascoutah, and we know that Coach Don Eddy and Mascoutah have definitely had a very strong baseball program over the past few years.
That they have. Here is Pickett. He drives the lane, puts up a shot and a prayer, and that wasn't answered. And here come the E-Rabs, and Horde is going to be given an opportunity at the free throw line on a blocking foul by Mason Mosley.
That'll be Mosley's third. E-Rabs in the bonus, but Horde will shoot 2 on as the foul was on the shot.
Haven't seen Matthew Horde come out in a while.
No, you know, had that, he got taken out of the game. I'm not sure. Maybe didn't seem like it was anything super important. Maybe
he appears to be fine. He's sitting at the end of the bench too. Maybe he's in the doghouse.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if Coach Sackmaster's mad at him or just, you know that hasn't had the best game. Down by 22. Don't necessarily want to risk anything, you know, happening injury-wise. You know, Rockford East, you know, have for a variety of different reasons not really had their full roster for all that much of the year, and have taken some of their losses because
Lord! One-hand dunk by Jordan Pickett. Pickett, 21 points now, and number 20 and 21 were emphatic. Yes. And a loose ball picked up by Jackson. He'll get it on up to Mosley. Mosley in the corner. Pickett now for 3. Good! 5 highlight reel points in a row right there by Jordan Pickett.
That's what he does, man.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah,
if you don't have him on your MVP list, you put him there now, don't you?
Absolutely. I put him. I had him down there, and
he's staying.
Yeah, I don't know who else you would put there.
Neither do I. I guess Makai Wright might have something to say about that next game. Uh-oh. Here is Pickett with a steal. You know what he's going to do.
Oh, no.
And he misses.
Just slipped out of his.
Uh-oh. He hurt his ankle.
Yeah,
he looks all right.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Just kind of slipped out of his hand, landed a little weird. He's okay.
Yeah,
Get
he grabbed
it to
that.
him.
And here's a try, and a reverse layup won't work. All of a sudden, Belleville East is running into some problems, and
yeah, Pickett will ask for the sub.
Yeah, Pickett's going to ask for a sub. He immediately went up and grabbed that left ankle right after he missed that shot. He's got a slight limp as he heads back to the bench, but nothing real noticeable, as they'll bring Tallis Lowry in to take his place. And
he's been
Pickett's going to take off that tennis shoe.
He's been messing with that left shoe for a little while. Not quite sure there. Foul on Jackson down there on this end. We'll see Harris shoot some free throws.
Harris will go to the free throw line. Wow is right. Harris, his first trip to the free throw line here in this game, and he'll make the first one. Harris came in 0 for 3 from the free throw line, so nice to see him get that taken care of and get in the plus column there. 5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Not the kind of close game that we thought it was going to be when we saw the Belleville East Lancers and the Rockford East E-Rabs hooking up in this third place game.
Yeah, I mean, you figured that, I think the expectation was that Belleville East were going to be favored, but, with been kind of a cold night for the Horde brothers, and that's kind of made the difference. Not a lot of.
Yeah, sure has.
Just not a lot. Only Lewis really the only one to be able to do much of anything for the E-Rabs, and as I said, Belleville East has been operating at pretty much maximum efficiency. That's why they're up by 26.
Yeah, Lewis has 18 points, so he's helped out just fine. The Horde brothers, I don't even think they've combined for 10 points, maybe because Sterling has 6.
Sterling's got 6. I think. I guess there were probably. I think Matthew has 6 or 8. So, yeah, but definitely they. I think they had like 30 or it might have been 40 between them against Collinsville. So,
yeah,
definitely not the best night for the two of them.
Drive down by Antoine Wilson doesn't produce any point results, so back the other way we come. Here is Lewis, and Lewis vying for 20 points, and he'll get there with that shot.
Yeah, I guess the question, if you're do you bring Pickett back in? I mean,
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you're up by,
not when you're up 70-46.
Yeah, you're up 24, 4 minutes left. I mean, I don't think there was really anything major. Nice steal there,
ripped off
Barry
right
Sneed.
Out of the hands of Lowry, and Sneed, Barry Sneed, picked that one up and just took off with it.
Have a technical foul on Singleton, I think.
Really?
Double tech, I think. Maybe get Sterling Horde and Singleton. We'll see.
Referees will talk about it here for a second. It's going to go against.
Yeah, I think they're going to get offsetting techs.
Okay.
Not sure on who. There's a little bit of a pause here. I think they got Singleton for sure, and then I think they gave the other one to Sterling Horde as Samuels.
Yeah. Horde has a technical. Yeah. Singleton.
So that'll be Singleton's
fourth
and Horde's
fourth.
Okay.
Both of them have their fourth.
All right.
And to the free throw line, that is Tyshawn Barry Sneed.
As he was got the common foul beforehand.
Barry Sneed went 1 for 2 in the first half from the free throw line, and he makes the first one here. Usually on a technical foul, don't they clear the lanes and have them shoot by themselves?
I think since they were offsetting, it's kind of like it's an offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct or something in football. Resulting penalties offset, first down, E-Rabs, I guess.
Coincidental minors in hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Back to work we go. Here is Mason Mosley. Mosley brings the ball up to Lowry. And over to Montgomery. And then a dribble drive kicked back outside by Wilson. And back out to Montgomery. Montgomery nowhere to go on the baseline, so he'll kick it back out to Lowry. Lowry tried that dribble drive in from the left wing, but that avenue was cut off. Now we'll try it from the right side. Antoine Wilson at the shot clock buzzer. Gets 2 to fall in, 72-47. E-Rabs, they bring it back the other way. And a shot misses the mark. And back the other way we go. Here is Mosley. Mosley's on up to the left wing. 2:45 left to play here in this fourth quarter. 72-47. That's the most points we've seen on the board in any game so far here, 72.
Yeah, I think up to 118, they're like, the shot clock. I think saw that Edwardsville athletic director Alex Fox had posted something, so hey, here, of course, Tigers former participants in this tourney, and it said, it acted like the shot clock was going to increase scoring. It really hasn't.
No, there's a block shot over in the corner. We were talking about that earlier. This has been kind of a low-scoring tournament here this year.
Nobody's really shot the ball.
And I don't think it's because of the shot clock either.
No, I mean, I think we've had maybe, 12. It's happened. It's definitely something, but
yeah.
It's definitely affected, late game strategy, which is something we talked about coming in. But all in all, I don't know that I've really noticed the shot clock all that much.
Not until you hear that horn.
Yeah, and you get I mean, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, a matter of if not when. And while I personally am of the opinion that there's something to be had in a game that has a, you know, final of like 32-28, that's not for everybody, and the shot clock will probably seek to rectify.
Yeah, and a little baseline jumper by Alex Jackson extends that lead, 74-49. Here is Samuels with a three, no good. Rebound, that belongs to Muse. Muse got tripped up a little bit, but no call. They'll bring it up across the timeline. We have 95 seconds left to go in this one. And it looks to me that Belleville East is going to be taking home a third-place trophy as Alex Jackson puts in one from the other side of the rim this time.
He's up to 12 points. Jackson he had a pretty good game in the semis against Decatur MacArthur. Really has been a pretty good tournament for Jackson. You know, a guy that, you know, was off and on starter for Lancer squad last year that, you know, maybe he was just had a little bit of a disappointing year. You know, came in, started off very well. I think we're 10-1 coming into Prairie Farms, and then had that. Let's see, Coach Creek go ahead and
you're going to empty the bench, yeah,
empty the bench, and you know, just kind of had that loss against. Had two really rough losses to Madison and Althoff in you know, in this tournament last year, and just were never quite able to get it back to where they were before Christmas. You see, you know. Wound up losing to Collinsville, I think, 4 times last year, including in a very good regional championship game. And it seems like, you know, Coach Creek, it was kind of the expectation. You know, they brought a lot back. They've had some, you know, additions through the transfer portal. I mentioned Singleton coming in from Mascoutah, Mosley also a transfer. And, you know, it seems like this is the run. And, you know, this area seems to be really, really deep this year. O'Fallon, maybe not the best run in this tournament, but definitely no slouches by any means. And, you know, Quincy you're going to have to deal with. And, you know, Quincy, and then, of course, on the other side of the sectional, you've got the Moline Maroons, who have looked really, really good this year and state ranked, and gave Quincy their only loss of the year. Nice take there by John Terrion Leach, the
5'11" freshman is into the game and scores some points right off the bat.
Yeah, see,
was a 29-point lead for Belleville East, but that helped keep away the mercy rule. But there's only under a minute to go anyway, so it really wouldn't have mattered too much. But you still don't like to be into that mercy rule if you're the opposing team.
Yeah, gotta bring out the rosters as Khalil Waller brings it up for the Lancers also. Yeah,
Waller out there and underneath the basket. That is Nate Smith, and they'll dump it off, and that one belongs to Christian Jenkins. 80 points on the board for Belleville East here in this third-place game.
Yeah, well, it reminds me a little bit of that Collinsville, Decatur MacArthur semifinal from a few years ago. That was the game that Rayshawn Taylor went as Jeremiah Conway will get a run out here and make.
Whoa, he won't make
layup, but the follow-up is good for Nate Smith. It reminds me of that semifinal, which 88-63 or something like that.
Yeah. Final seconds tick off here. This one, Lewis at the top of the key hits a three-point shot, and Lewis now with 23 points on the losing side of things as the final horn sounds. 82-54, a big third-place win there by the Belleville Lancers, and that means we have one game left. That is the championship game. Zach Roseman, I want to thank you for participating once again here at this tournament. It's been a lot of fun. I know you're getting some great experience doing this, and glad that I can help, and hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course. It's always fun doing this. This is my 4th tournament now helping you, and yeah, it's been a fair bit of fun. You know, had some good games, some good talent, and it's been pretty good. We'll have the trophy presentations now to both teams.
Yeah, they give out the 3rd and the 4th place trophy here. You get that 4th place trophy, it really doesn't feel like you earned it. You just got to kind of, you know, happenstance. I got a 4th place trophy.
Yeah, I see. They're the. I guess, you know, the 4th place one is the one that feels the worst.
Yeah, probably.
It's the only one that it's the only trophy that they give out to a team that gets 2 losses.
Yeah. 82-54, final score here. We will take a break and get you set up for the big championship game. Myself and Matt Clark will bring that to you between the Decatur MacArthur Generals and the Quincy Blue Devils, and that'll be coming your way here in just minutes on the K-Hawk Sports Network.